So touching first on this legislation in Georgia, are you glad to see at least some of the states that were in the hot seat last November taking action on this issue? And should more Republicans follow suit, especially with what we're seeing from the White House?
Yes, I'm actually very glad to see finally Republicans are trying to stand up and have some sort of a backbone. The question is, will their backbone continue, or will they succumb to pressure over and over again like they normally do?
And what did you make of Biden's executive order from over the weekend? He says it's in many ways against the voter suppression that we're seeing in states like Georgia, for example. What did you make of his comments in the executive order?
Yeah, Biden's executive order was simply an enhancement of do nothing, steal election Democrats. That's all it was. He wants to go into states. He wants to succumb state law, say anybody can vote anytime, anywhere, 2, 3 votes, 4 votes, 5 votes, that doesn't matter. What I'm really concerned with and what has to happen is the Republicans have to go into states where ballot harvesting is legal, and we need to ballot harvest too. And that's the problem, right? Wherever the Democrats pass these crazy laws, fine. If you want to have all your illegal voters come vote, well, guess what? We're going to invite some workers, some small business people that have been here for 2-3 days. They're going to vote on our side, too. So as soon as the Democrats learn that, oh, if we do that to them, they'll do that to us, they'll back off. That happened with Amy Coney Barrett, by the way. They realized, hey, guess what? The Republicans aren't playing this time around. So if Biden, let him sign the executive orders, and then we need to take advantage of those executive orders. And hopefully John Roberts will side with us this time rather than the left.
Oh, hopefully, exactly. Beat them at their own game, I guess you could say. That's really what we need to do, grow a spine as Republicans, because Democrats, they do this because you're right. They know they can just walk all over Republicans. Republicans will just, they'll say a few things. They might write like an op-ed or something, but they won't really do anything about it. So you're right. We need to beat them at their own game. But also when we see Biden signing this executive order over the weekend, coming on, I believe it was the 56th anniversary of Bloody Sunday from back in the civil rights days. But what really gets me is Biden, he lied about marching in civil rights. He lied about being arrested in South Africa, for example, about fighting against apartheid. I mean, this is a man who lies all the time, especially when it concerns civil rights. I mean, he accepted awards from George Wallace, and just about 10 or so years ago, he was eulogizing Robert Byrd, the former KKK member, at his funeral. What did you make of the timing and how he tried to tie it in with civil rights?
Listen, not only has Biden lied about that, Biden lied about the fact that he was going to be a Clinton-era abortion president, safe but rare. He lied about that. So he spent the election lying and hiding. That's all he spent the election doing. What I make of him doing civil rights is Biden is doing everything he can to stay in power for his next 4 years and to appease his extreme left. And he has to do it, because without the extreme left, he wouldn't be in power, because they didn't want him there. They wanted Bernie Sanders. If AOC was qualified, they would have wanted her to be there. Anyway, I won't get into disparaging AOC. Anyway, we could all have round and round on that. But the bottom line is, President Joseph Biden, it's not about civil rights. It's about more power centralized to the federal government, a.k.a. the bureaucracy, which we tried to see overthrow a 2016 election, let alone a 2021.